Welcome to Money Library, the channel where we break down powerful finance books in simple language so you can actually use the lessons in real life. Today, we're diving into The Money Game by Adam Smith, a classic book that does something many finance books do not. It looks beyond charts, numbers, and formulas and asks a deeper question: why do people behave the way they do when money is involved? This book is not just about investing. It is about psychology, emotion, ego, fear, greed, confidence, and confusion, all the hidden forces that shape financial decisions. Adam Smith treats the market like a real game, and once you understand that idea, the whole book starts to make sense. In this video, we'll explore the big ideas from the book, the lessons behind them, and what they mean for modern investors, beginners, and anyone who wants to think more clearly about money. 1. What the book is really about. At its core, The Money Game argues that investing is not a perfectly rational science. It is a human game, and human beings are rarely fully rational when money is involved. The market is not just a place where facts get processed logically. It is a place where people react emotionally, follow crowds, chase stories, and sometimes make decisions that have more to do with identity than with logic. That is why the book feels so fresh even though it was written decades ago. The tools may have changed, but the behavior has not. Investors still get overconfident in bull markets, panic in downturns, and convince themselves that the latest trend is somehow different from every previous trend. The book shows that the same emotional patterns repeat again and again, no matter what era you are in. This is also why the title matters. It is called The Money Game because money, in the market, is not just about numbers on a screen. It is about competition, psychology, instinct, and the endless struggle to beat uncertainty. When you see it this way, investing stops looking like a machine and starts looking like a living, messy human arena. 2. Money and identity. One of the strongest ideas in the book is that money is tied to identity. People do not just want money because it buys things. They want money because it affects how they see themselves and how they think others see them. That means the financial world is never only financial. It is emotional, personal, and social. Adam Smith suggests that people often use investing to answer deeper questions about status, intelligence, success, and worth. This is why losses can feel humiliating and wins can feel intoxicating. A bad trade is not always experienced as "I made a bad decision." Sometimes it feels like "I am a bad person" or "I am not smart enough." That emotional weight can distort judgment very quickly. The book makes a powerful point: if you do not understand yourself, the market will expose you. In other words, investing can become a mirror. It reflects impatience, greed, insecurity, and the need to belong. Before you try to master the market, you need to learn how you behave under pressure. 3. The role of greed and fear. Greed and fear are the twin engines of the market in this book. When prices rise, people often feel left behind and rush in because they fear missing out. When prices fall, they sell because they fear losing more. These emotions are not side effects of investing, they are part of the game itself. Adam does not present greed as simple evil. He presents it as a force that can energize the market, create motion, and push people into action. But greed becomes dangerous when it convinces people that a rising market must keep rising, or that a winning strategy can never fail. The same is true for fear. Fear can protect you from reckless behavior, but it can also trap you into inaction at exactly the wrong time. This is why the book is so useful for beginners. It teaches that being successful with money is not only about finding good opportunities. It is also about not being controlled by emotional swings. That lesson may sound simple, but in practice it is one of the hardest things for investors to learn. 4. Why information is not enough. A very important lesson in the book is that more information does not automatically lead to better decisions. Many people assume that if they read enough reports, follow enough news, and listen to enough experts, they will become smarter investors. Adam Smith pushes back on that idea. The problem is not that information has no value. The problem is that investors often use information to support what they already want to believe. They do not always seek truth. Sometimes they seek comfort, confirmation, or a reason to act quickly. That means information can become a tool for self-deception instead of clarity. This is one reason the book still feels modern. Today we have more data, more news, more opinions, and more financial content than ever before. Yet confusion is still common. The book's message is that wisdom is not the same as noise. Real investing insight requires judgment, discipline, and emotional control. 5. Knowing yourself first. Probably the most quoted idea in the book is that the first thing you have to know is yourself. That is a simple sentence, but it carries a lot of weight. Adam Smith is saying that before you worry about stock picking, timing, or market theory, you need to understand your own behavior. Are you patient or impulsive? Do you panic under pressure? Do you chase excitement? Do you hold on too long because you cannot admit you were wrong? These are not small questions. They determine whether you can survive in the market. The book suggests that many investors fail not because they are ignorant, but because they are unaware of their own weaknesses. This is a very useful lesson for everyday finance too. You do not need to be a Wall Street trader to benefit from it. Whether you are saving, investing, or planning for the future, knowing your habits and emotional triggers can help you make better choices. The book's wisdom is really about self-management as much as money management. 6. The market as a crowd. Another major theme is crowd behavior. Markets often move because large groups of people begin to think and feel in similar ways at the same time. When optimism spreads, prices can rise beyond what common sense would justify. When pessimism spreads, assets can become extremely cheap because everyone is running for the exit. This crowd effect creates a strange truth: people often feel safer when they are doing what everyone else is doing, even if that behavior is risky. That is why bubbles happen. It is not because people suddenly become stupid. It is because social pressure, emotional momentum, and the desire to belong become stronger than independent thinking. The book's humor helps make this point memorable. Adam Smith often uses examples and stories that show how investors behave like people in a social drama rather than like cold calculators. That style makes the book enjoyable, but it also makes the lesson stick. The market is made of people, and people influence one another constantly. 7. Skill, instinct, and intuition. The book does not say logic is useless. Instead, it argues that investing also depends on intuition, instinct, and a kind of lived judgment that cannot always be reduced to formulas. Some people seem to have a feel for risk, timing, and temperament. Others do not. Adam is fascinated by that difference. But he is not saying intuition replaces discipline. He is saying that good investors combine self-awareness with judgment. They know when to trust a pattern, when to question the crowd, and when to step back. They are not slaves to rules, but they are also not reckless improvisers. This idea matters because many finance books promise a perfect system. The money game is more honest than that. It suggests that no system works all the time, and no expert has a final answer. That humility is one of the book's most valuable lessons. 8. What modern readers can learn. Modern readers can learn a lot from this book because the environment may have changed, but the human behavior is the same. We still see hype cycles, speculative manias, fear-driven selling, and the temptation to believe that this time is different. The book helps you recognize those patterns before they pull you in. For beginners, the main lesson is to stop thinking of investing as a shortcut to certainty. It is not. It is a process of managing uncertainty better than most people do. That means staying humble, avoiding emotional extremes, and understanding that being right once is not the same as being wise consistently. For more experienced investors, the book is a reminder that markets reward self-control as much as intelligence. You can have all the data in the world and still make poor decisions if your emotions are running the show. Adam Smith's great contribution is showing that money is never just about money. So that is the big idea behind the money game. The market is not just a place for formulas and forecasts, but a stage where human psychology plays out every day. The book reminds us that if you want to handle money well, you must first understand yourself, because your biggest risks are often emotional, not mathematical. If you enjoyed this breakdown from Money Library, please like, share, and subscribe for more clear and practical book summaries on money, investing, and financial thinking. Your support helps the channel grow and lets us keep bringing you more valuable content. Here's the simplest takeaway from today's video: before you try to beat the market, learn how not to beat yourself.